Okay, good morning again, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time, welcome. Um, I tend to do these videos every week, just trying to practice speaking in front of a camera, just chewing the fat about life, and trying to, I guess, impart some of the things I've learned over the years, if that's one way of looking at it. Um, Again, unedited, just keep on talking about whatever. But I do have certain things to talk about. So today, I am currently undertaking what I've called a detox. I've called it a detox for years, but it's really a reset. So, just for some history, about 15 years ago, I went on a Tony Robbins weekend. Personal development, I love it. Amazing experience, etc., etc., etc. It introduced me to the idea of cutting out some foods and some drinks out of your diet for a set period of time. So no meat, no dairy, no caffeine, no artificial sugars if you can help it, no alcohol, no no smoking. I don't smoke anymore. All of those things at the time was for 10 days. Back then, my diet was awful. So in 10 days, I literally lost 10 pounds. Now, that doesn't sound healthy in terms of what it represents, but it did tell me a few things about how I lived my life back then. Fast forward to these days, I now do this detox twice a year for about a month. And a friend of mine said the other day, I bumped into him, told him I was doing this thing, and he said, it doesn't work. I said, well, it does. It's not as if I'm not doing this as a weight loss program, where you just do it to crash diet and then you put the weight on. I honestly see this as a way to pause for 2 months in the year to try and reconnect with myself, recollect things I used to like, and do things. Just try new things. So it's not just so much detoxing in terms of food, it's decluttering life. It's trying to be a bit more focused. And yes, in an ideal world, I wouldn't need to be doing these things twice a year. I would always be decluttered, I'd always be focused, but I know the way I live my life. I know I am prone to do certain things. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to certain dynamics, but I do have a very sweet tooth. I do like a drink once in a while, nothing wrong with that. And I do love my meat. So I know over the longer term, the fact that I'm doing this should at least, touch wood, extend my days on this planet for a little longer. Who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But the reality is, that's why I'm doing it. Now, I'm also thinking more broadly about health, because I have always been about personal development and monetization and the idea of side hustles, blah blah blah. But then you start thinking, what's it all for? The idea of getting more money, to be more efficient in your time. None of that matters if you don't have your health, if you don't have the basics of your health. So I'm going to be more intentional in improving my health. I've gone for a few runs recently. I messed up my knee. Okay, so I'm limping at the moment. But the idea is the right idea, where I'm looking to advance my health habits in a way that at least helps keep me in a healthier way of being as I get older. Reality is, we're not getting any younger, but also generally you're not getting any healthier unless you actively push it and be a bit more progressive. And that's really what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to be I've now got myself some omega-3 cod liver oil. I guess it's cod liver oils. Taking those tablets. I'm just going to do more things that are healthy, and be willing to spend money on it as well to improve my lifestyle. And again, this is really about me trying to find ways in which to spend money in an intentional way and have a positive impact on my lifestyle. I like spending socially, and in many occasions I can say that it's been a life enriching experience. In many occasions it's been nothing of the sort. One drunken night blends into the next. So it's about being more intentional with how I live my life. And that intentionality also comes to removing things that no longer serve. We all have things that were relevant 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago that somehow are still in the mix. And I'm going to use this detox period, so basically until probably the end of this month, to remove some stuff, some papers, some, I wouldn't say hobbies because I don't have many hobbies, some ways of doing things that I feel I should have progressed on from. But also, I suppose, now that we're all in our certain seasons of life, we've got to make sure that we are still moving forward. And in order to move forward, sometimes you just got to take things off your back. Some of the clutter, the baggage, the things that, again, no longer serve. And that's the thing. I need to accept, we all need to accept that some of the things in our lives, people, objects, habits, hobbies, call it what you will, no longer serve. And that's what I want to do. Another thing I want to be more focused on is, I talked about side hustles a few weeks ago, and I'm still committed to the whole principle. But the reality is, I need to be more focused on side hustles that that allow me to I can grow with. And that's the thing. I've got all these different side hustles, but I talked about 5. I'm going to bring it down to 3. So I won't go into it all now, but I'm going to be focused on 3 side hustles. Sorry, I'm just actually working at the moment, and my boss has just sent a message, so I better click on it. Hey, I'm going to keep doing this video while I'm working. How cool is that? When you work from home, that's time of the week, and you can still do your work and video call. No, I'm not going to do a video call. That'd be a bit nuts. Okay, so he's typing. So back to my income streams. So yes, the reality is, I am convinced that we all, particularly if you're of a certain vintage, no longer a Gen Z, no longer a millennial, have to be prepared for the future. That is a combination of building up your financial, financial well-being, and your career well-being, equity well-being. So, sorry, I'm still kind of half typing. Right. So, financial equity, career equity. It's about being ready. It's about being focused, and it's about being intentional. Right. I'm kind of. Oops. This isn't my best video, I've got to say, but again, I don't like to do these things. I don't like to do these things very very sorry. I need to do these things right. I'm going to respond to this and hold this at the same time. Yes. So yeah, so as I said, I am all about being intentional, and this whole idea completely captures what I'm trying to do. Be focused, be intentional, Do not multitask. Just do what you need to do at any one time. My income streams, I was talking about doing 5. I've done 3 of them fairly averagely, and 2 I keep jumping in and out of. I'm going to focus on 3 of them. No doubt it'll come down to 2 and then probably 1. 2 of them are fairly seasonal, so I'm just going to do those anyway. But ultimately, I need to make sure I'm intentional on my income streams. Well, this has been a bit of a waffly one today. Again, I've always done these videos as a way in which to put in the reps, because as I mentioned back in January, I've been doing this since January, I hate talking in front of a camera. Actually now, I quite don't mind it. And this is practice for me to get better in front of the camera. It's practice for when I have to do things for work, in terms of Zoom calls, in terms of Zoom presentations. It gives me a creative outlet, and it also potentially allows me to build future income streams. So this is one of my intentional things I've done this year. I still say to people, try this yourself. You might not like doing videos, but if you don't try it, you won't improve. I was watching a video yesterday, actually. Very interesting stuff he was talking about. But he was like, I don't know, frozen or stiff, or he just looked so unnatural. Interesting topic, so unnatural. I guess he had a kind of script, and I don't work with a script. He had a script, and he was kind of almost dragged under by trying to keep to the script, and it felt really, really, really unnatural. But that's just that situation. So try these things out. Just try. Again, I'm about experimentation in this current time, particularly this detox period. Try it out. Try the detox. Try speaking in front of a camera. If you want to know more about this detox approach, just put a comment in the comments section, and I'll give you more information. Again, this is it from me today. Feel free to subscribe and continue my journey to self-actualization, improvement, personal development. And I'm looking at this now. This is October time when I'm filming this, and I know that this is so much better than my first few videos, which were clunky. But that's the whole thing. This is about putting one foot in front of the other, improving slightly every single week, and generally just having fun. And if no one watches this, it doesn't matter, because I've done it for myself. Right, I've talked a lot, and hopefully next week I will have some more interesting things to talk about. I have a few ideas, because of a few things that will happen over the next week or so. But until then, bye-bye.